Hey, it's Sue Greenwald here. I'm with Awakened Stories, and I'm here with the real John F. Kennedy Jr. Hey, John, how are you?
I am doing wonderful like always when I get a chat with you in the morning.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we had technical difficulties today, and I noticed that your name has been changed on Zoom here. So it's now David K.
Uh,
Quigley on Zoom.
well,
So
I had problems myself trying to log
yeah,
into Zoom, trying to log into my emails. It took me 15 minutes to figure it out. I had to go through all the passwords again.
yep.
I think it was last week, maybe more than a week. My total computer, I tried to get on YouTube, my whole computer shut down, and
Yeah.
luckily, Robin had, because I would have thrown it out the door, but
I get like that too.
it
Yeah, yeah.
totally crashed. And I'm not a computer geek. I don't know nothing about them. But she sat here for a few hours and actually got me logged back on.
Yeah.
But I was actually doing a YouTube. People, please follow me on YouTube at John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. Use a little @ sign. I was doing a live video the other day and they removed it. And while I'm talking about YouTube, Dr. Kia Pruitt was sharing my book and they removed her. She had thousands of followers. They just simply removed her for sharing my story. I believe it was sharing my story. She made another YouTube account. And they took that one down too. So don't give up. Keep subscribing. Share Sue's channel, Awaken Stories. Keep sharing. We can beat them at their own
Yep.
game.
Yep. Yep. We have more on our side than they do. We got to remember that, the little guy can win if they band together. So as I always try to say is here's the book, Stolen Identity, that John wrote. Please get this on Amazon. Really easy book to read. Well done book. And it tells his basic story, which we've talked about before in previous videos. So if you go back even on this channel or John's channel, go back to the early videos, you'll get the basic story of what's in the book. And we're going to assume that you've already got that. And, we just talk every week about whatever we want, basically, which I like, right? There's no agenda. We just talk. You usually share a little bit more of the story, but it's really like vital to get the story out. And, the big guys are not going to help, right? The ones
Right.
that they have money or influence, they don't want the story to get out. They're the ones helping to suppress it. They're the ones that are, well, we'll call them the bad guys. They're on the wrong side of the fence. So it's the little guys, the grassroots guys, the people that are watching now that will help share the story and get it out. But once people learn the story that's in this book and what's happened to John, and there are others out there that have had unfortunate circumstances as well, it is a world-changing story, right? It like real experiences that have really happened, not a movie. You couldn't even make this stuff up if you tried, right?
I thank you, Sue.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a huge wake up because we are being hindered, we are being blocked, we are being taken down. They don't want you to know what's in my book.
Yep.
And I'm finding out how bad we have it each and every day, people. We are being ruled. We aren't awake to we are being ruled, but we are being ruled by the elite. They have bought out all the news media and they only want you to know what they tell you. They don't want us little guys sharing this. And this is a huge wake up.
Right.
It really, really is.
Right.
This book should be number one. I keep saying that. It's not because I wrote it, it's because I am who I am. I am the son of our assassinated president.
Yeah.
I was kidnapped. I was replaced by our very own government. Some of them probably thought I was dead. Probably some risked their lives saying I was dead. But it is all being run by people like Epstein and all his followers. It's huge, and people need to wake up. Identity theft. They I can't sugarcoat it. They killed my loved ones. They replaced my loved ones to steal billions of dollars. And with that said, I just lost my son. So my book is still open. It's still open. It's still being shared but they don't want you to know what we're sharing.
Right.
So please share. We, the people, are the little guys. We're the underdogs. We're the David. We're up against Goliath. Hit that share button, please. Go down to this video where it says share. Share it on all your platforms. Don't be afraid they'll take you down for sharing it. You got to do it. This country and many countries around the world depend on you hitting that share button. We can make a difference one share at a time.
It's true.
Thank you.
It's true. Just getting the story out to other people helps to awaken them. Like, it's not the average citizen's fault that they don't know the story. Okay. They're what I call free range humans. Okay. They're bebopping around doing their thing, thinking that the material world is all there is. They're distracted by having to work, having to struggle, the price of gas and groceries, politics, entertainment, all the crazy stuff that we're seeing out there. They're heavily distracted and they're just trying to, basically make it through life, if you will. So they don't have an inkling that any of this has happened. For those of us that are awakened, it really, it's a favor to share the story, not only to you, John, but for the people that don't realize that there's more out there than they see in the news, right? And we don't want to shove anything down anyone's throat, but just kind of broaching the subject. You know, do you believe 9/11 was the story that we've been told? Do you believe this is the story we've been told? And then getting into a conversation gently is a good way to do it. And sometimes if you go in too full force and tell them what's really happening, they're going to back off. Oh, you're crazy. And yeah, we are crazy, but crazy awakened. Like there's some bad stuff happening here. People need to know.
Somebody sent me a Paul Revere, it was like a solid silver 9.9 quarter, but Paul Revere was on it. And in the letter, this supporter said, John, you're crazy enough because it's going to take somebody crazy to take our country back. And
Yeah.
bless their heart, we're all crazy, but we got to be crazy to take our country back.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of my family thinks I am crazy, but that's okay. They're going to see in the end that I wasn't. It's all good.
Right. I'm gonna prove everybody. People. I get so much hate.
Yeah.
You're not who you are, and oh, so much. It's like I know who I am. I lived it. I lived the horror. Um, my whole entire life. I'm still living it,
Yeah.
but we're gonna prove them wrong one way or another. And
Well,
Sue, I'm going crazy here because I am this big on my screen. Do you know how I get myself bigger? I've clicked on it and nothing's working.
well, there
And
should
I
be.
had to, when it came up to Zoom, it said I had to join with my browser or log in. So I did it with my browser, but I
Yeah.
don't know what's going on. But we're here. Yay.
Yeah. Well, on my phone, it was just me talking. Now, on my screen now, there's you and I, and then another one of you at the bottom. It doesn't even make sense. So, like I said, they're messing with us anyway, so whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't know what we were talking about even, but basically how we need to share the story and, oh, now it's back to normal. Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
What just happened? I didn't touch a thing,
Either. The guy in the little the room that's controlling us
but
clicked
I'm
it.
still itty bitty. And
Okay.
I'm not going to click on nothing again.
Okay. That's weird. Yeah. So anyways, and so we were talking about censorship. That is real. I've had channels taken down, videos taken down. I've gotten strikes for like nothing. Even old videos I'll put out, they've been taken down and it's very frustrating because there's not much you can do. Okay.
It's all part of the takeover of the United States.
Yeah.
It
But
is
just
all part of being ruled, and the rulers that
yeah.
it's so you don't know how bad we got it until you're the little guy trying to. And I'm John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. My father was the president. I'm not the little guy. This should be world news, but they're making me the little guy. They are ruling us. Just like the Communist Party in these other countries, the rulers over the people. The United States of America was founded on our freedom of the people, but
Yeah.
America is a big prize for these rulers. But we are being ruled 100% now. We really
It,
are,
it's
and it's
our
gonna.
it's our constitutional right to be able to speak freely and to gather, right? Okay, so we're not doing anything harmful to anyone else. All right, we're just having a conversation. All right. And we are shit talking the government a little bit, which is kind of fun, but we're not harming anyone directly. And look at the censorship we have. That is not right. All right. So why are they so worried about the story?
Because we're exposing all their crimes,
Yeah.
their murders, their identity theft, their cover-ups, their control over the people,
Yeah.
and they don't want it out.
Yeah.
But we have to get it out if we, I get concerned every day on what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really, really stress over it, but America needs to wake up to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sue, I got to take a potty break.
Okay. I'm gonna just talk. I'm gonna talk for a while, guys. Okay, go ahead. All right. So perfect timing.
It's that my heart medicine at work again.
Yep, yep. Okay. So what's new and exciting? When we got on the computer this morning, uh, it's been 5 weeks since your son has died. Sorry to say it that way, but they're still jerking your chain. The funeral home is jerking your chain on the burial, and they won't return your calls, and all this crazy stuff is happening. So for those that are in the Jedi group, we're going to clear the path so John has clear communication with the funeral director and they start moving it along. Okay, to get that
There is,
done.
this is history,
Yeah,
straight up history.
yeah,
My son, me, and it's all being covered up. My son's death. It's going to be in the history books because I'm going to see it goes in the history books for the real truth, not what people are told.
yeah,
But we're going on 5 weeks now. No phone calls. We play phone tag. They say they'll call me back. And then Elizabeth from Chicago sent me an article from Fox News 5 Arizona saying that there's a scam going on with the same funeral home where my son's at. Um, his ex-girlfriend calling the funeral home saying she wants the ashes. I'm not going to get to that, but people are really, really screwed up, greedy. Um, this gal put up a GoFundMe to get my son's ashes, claiming she needs $2,000 to get his ashes. Well, I was already approved by the state for funding to get my son cremated. So if I was approved to have him cremated, why does she need $2,000? And if she would have contacted me, I would have been happy to send her some ashes of my son in an urn. But it's not that; it's over greed and every other thing.
right, right.
It's just more hindrance. But the Secret Service, and I'm John Kennedy Jr. I was trained by these people. Don't know why, but I was trained by our Secret Service, our shadow government. I've been in funeral homes in the middle of the night doing investigations, being there watching. So if they've taken that long because they know it's history too, and they're probably getting in their little books, writing down all the facts on his death and every other thing. I accuse these people in our shadow government of killing my son, MK Ultra. They ruined my son's mind. What they had him do, I really don't know, but I hold them accountable for
Right,
his death. I
right.
really do.
Yeah,
I should have been dead so many times for the things they've had me do, the attempts on my life over and over again. I shouldn't be here, but I am, people. So take advantage of that. Read my book, share my story, because I'm here. I don't know how long I'll be here, but it's going to take all of us with a share and a prayer
Yeah.
to save us.
Yeah.
It really is.
Well, obviously, the dark side uses family members as leverage to force you to do what they want and to attack you. So they're using his death as a way to attack you, to distract you from what you're doing. That's what all of the stuff out in the news is doing.
I was thinking about this morning. I think some crazy stuff sometimes. But when I woke up, I was getting my morning coffee, and I was thinking, the devil, he can't just say hocus pocus, I'm going to ruin your freaking day. He uses individuals to ruin your day for him. And I was thinking that. Why I was thinking that this morning. But, these people with the negative energy and the bad vibes, and these people that are living in the darkness to ruin your lives, they're the ones doing it, not the devil. Maybe it's through the devil. But anyway, I was getting all out there this morning during my morning cup of coffee. But there's a lot of evil people out there in this world, a lot of satanic cults. I'm a personal eyewitness to much of what they do.
Yeah.
Something,
Well,
something to think
yeah,
about.
they use people as proxies. Okay, so the dark side will use people, and of course, they promise them everything that a human would want, right? And some of it they might get, fame, fortune, or whatever, but they're never true to their word. Okay, hence the reason they're bad, because they'll start out with the rewards and they use the person, and then the person finds themselves getting killed or worse. Okay, so it never ends well for anyone. And people don't understand.
And to all you wonderful viewers, I appreciate all the prayers the most. I thank you so much for your gifts and your support, but the prayers are awesome. Keep that energy flowing. With that said, King Smarty, he, shout out to King Smarty.
Yep,
He
yep.
he has a heart of freaking gold. But I posted a video. I still can't understand the video. Uh, he tweaked it a little bit or whatever he was doing, but he sent me a video of a dog tag he made. And on the dog tag, if you moved it, it was my picture of my book and it said
Yeah,
stolen identity.
yeah.
And he was holding it like this, and it said something about King Smarty made me a dog tag, but it was like really funky the way he put it in there. And I was like, that's so cool. I had to shout, I had to share it, and people are like, I can't understand it. But shout out to King. That's awesome.
Yeah. I saw it.
I don't know if he's gonna send it to me or what, but I hope he does. That would be awesome. But yeah, he actually had a dog tag just like this one here, and it had my book on it. I don't know how he did it or whatever, but if he wiggled it like that in his
Yeah.
video, it would show him.
Yeah, I did see the video, and that the dog tag itself has it's concentrated with PTSD frequencies, like anti-PTSD. So it helps to heal your nervous system. Of course, it has all the healing and protective frequencies in it. And Smarty sells all sorts of charms and healing products on his site, but he created that for you. Now, it's weird because I saw that, but I didn't understand what it was either. I couldn't really clearly see it.
I
But
in the video that me and you did, I said something about King Smarty,
yeah.
and I think he took that clip and tweaked it like like Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas.
Yeah, I did.
Because I can make it out. He was like, "Yeah, King Smarty made me this," or something like that.
So
But
cute. It's cute.
yeah,
Yeah.
and with that said, smartiescorner.com, people. I got
Yep.
it on the side of my trailer. I went to a friend down the street here, and he made me some letters that say smartiescorner.com. I put them on my trailer. Um, I'm asking everybody to sign my trailer, write me a letter declaring our United States government criminals. But yeah, check out smartiescorner.com, and I believe you can get these.
Yeah, yeah. And these are called reloadable charms. So I've got a different one on. I forget this is the vibranium bling, but smartiescorner.com sells all sorts of healing products and frequency generating products. Okay.
And
But there's also
Robin,
a lot of free
Robin
stuff.
has one like that.
Yeah, this one.
Uh, yeah, she has that one on. I just seen it.
This is
But
rainbow and this is blue. So yeah.
so if you all want to be like us, go there, and you can be cool like us.
Yeah, you'll be cool like us. Well, the reason we've been pointing out Smarty's dog tag for you is when we first started doing videos, you didn't look quite as robust as you do now. Okay, so he sent a whole bunch of product, like in the background, you've got the crystalline generator, you've got a pithalum ball, I don't know what else, but all of the frequencies and the stickers and all the stuff you're using has helped to provide protective and healing frequencies for you and anyone that's within proximity. So it's
I
only
hate to
good.
get fingerprints on it because it's so beautiful, but I can
Yeah,
always wipe it off.
yeah,
Yeah, Smarty sent me this.
yeah,
It's a crystalline chamber, and he said he's working on something where you could actually get in it,
yeah,
and it's healing. It has the healing frequencies on the top
yeah,
and the bottom,
yeah. And it's
which
beautiful.
is cool. It's a wonderful,
Yeah,
wonderful gift. And then he got this cool
yeah.
and called this
That's
pithlum or something like that, right?
Pithalum cube. So David Adair, the rocket scientist, all right, that I've had on my channel before, has an entity called Pithalum inside of him. And Pithalum, her mission is to work with Earth, to help Earth and humanity. So I've done a few videos on that, but Smarty created these balls, which are just beautiful. You don't need one, but they're fun to hold and look at, and they're beautiful. But Pithalum is working with us telepathically, so you don't need a ball, but she'll work with you to provide creativity, answers, help, assistance, whatever you need. And as time goes on and the dark forces are defeated, she'll be working with us more and more and more to provide creativity and information. So many people are sensitive to energy and they're getting that information now. Again, you don't need the ball. It's just kind of fun to have. And it'll be really interesting to see what happens with that in the future. So,
And with that said, I don't know much about the frequencies and the energy and all that, but I've been dead.
yeah,
When I was a teenager, I was dead. I was tortured. I was abused, but I was actually dead, and I was going up to see God. Devil don't want me. God don't want me because God's not finished with me yet. But I was actually a frequency, if that's what you call it. I had left my body. I wasn't in body form, but I could still think. I still had the capacity to think, and I was looking down at my body, and I was like, why are the? Because it was a satanic cult that killed me, and they didn't plan on killing me. They were just doing an operation on me. But I was actually going to the bright light. I had no control. I was a frequency floating towards this bright light, and it was the brightest light I have ever seen, and I was dead. I was looking down, going towards this bright light at my body laying on the kitchen table of this house. And when I was floating up towards this bright light, I was saying, why are these people killing me? Why did they do this? But I had no control. I was going towards the bright light, and then I went back down into my body, and I'm here today. But I've had many near death experiences, and I just wanted to share that. I'm here for a reason, and that reason I believe is to wake people up to the dark side.
when you had that experience, did you meet Jesus or God or anyone on the trip?
When I was floating up towards that bright light, I pictured the bug zapper. You remember in the 70s, the bug zapper?
Yeah,
It just came out. It was on all your commercials. It showed the bugs going. and just disintegrating in a bug zapper. While I was floating towards that bright light, I was thinking, that's the big bug zapper in the sky. That's what my thought was. And I thought if I did reach that bug zapper, I'd go, but I didn't. But no, I didn't see Jesus. I had been in deep meditation years before, when I was being tortured and all the crazy stuff. I was locked in a dog cage by these people, but I would get in tune with God. I would pray and, thinking I would be killed at any minute. And I would have visions from Jesus or God or whoever it was, um, that God has planned for me. I've never shared that, but yeah, I would be in deep prayer and I would see Jesus with his hands out like this, and I would get little messages from him while I was in this deep prayer, but actually seeing him. That was Elizabeth.
So what
But
kind of visions, like you'd see his hands, like what kind of messages or comfort did you receive during these times?
the one vivid I was just thinking about when I was I was at the Quigley's and I was upstairs and I was praying and it was like life or death prayers. But I actually saw a figure like Jesus, and then I saw my dead body sitting there and what I looked like at the time of my death. But in Jesus's hand, it was like a bowl, and it was full of gold. And the voice in my head, God or whatever, spoke to me and said, "The gold is in the triangle." And then that was it. So to this day, I always, not every day, but when I think about that time of actually talking with God, he had his hands out and it was full of gold, and it said, "The gold is in the triangle." So what? But I actually saw my dead body sitting there, and at my death. So I don't want to get into details of what I look like or anything, but it's
Okay.
crazy.
Interesting. So we all know, everyone watching here knows that you do have a mission, which is why you're still here after all the things that they've done to you, the death you've escaped. But that's really interesting because I didn't know you had these experiences. And one of the comments I was going to make earlier is after all that you've been through, your whole life, torture, like betrayal, like all the negatives, we can list it all, okay? You still are positive, right? You could be really angry, bitter, you could hate people, you could just be like, uh, it would repel people though, that if you were. But look what a good attitude you have. Even though like you get frustrated, okay, you're human and they're playing games with you. They've done some nasty things to you. You still have a great sense of humor and compassion for other people, right?
I sure try, Sue. I really, really do.
What makes it. So
And
the gold is in the
I get
trying.
I
Yeah,
get my moments where I really want to just take somebody out,
yeah,
and I leave it into God's hands. I really do.
yeah,
And I pray if somebody's going to harm me or wants to harm me, that God will take care of it before I am harmed.
yeah.
And it seemed to work so far. So far so good.
Has worked because you've got a bigger purpose, right? Now you've collected these experiences and it was very painful and obviously horrible. But you've come out of it smiling, wanting to help others. That's exactly where you should be. And you will be helping so many by awakening them with this story. Where, like I said, if you were bitter and angry, no one would want to hear the story. They wouldn't listen to you. They wouldn't respect you. They would walk the other way. So you're exactly in the right position. It's awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, every day it's about sharing my story
Yeah.
every single day because my hopes, I know how bad we have it. We have it bad, but we don't know it. Most people don't realize how bad we have it and the plans to enslave us all, to take everything that we've worked for, that people have died for in this country. And I'm exposing the takeover of
Right,
this country
right,
by these evildoers and these people, these that want to rule over us. And their plans for us aren't good. So every day I share my story in hopes of a share, of a prayer that people will join us and share the truth and get it out, and maybe we can, working together, can save us from the horrors of being ruled by
right.
organized crime and murderers and thieves that want to rule over us, that are ruling over us now. And they're putting all the plans together as we're speaking now to totally take over our
Yeah,
lives.
yeah.
So
And I,
every day I got a mission, because I don't want that to happen.
yeah,
You know, I think about it all the time. My father, my uncle, my mother, my sister, my mother's family, my father's family, all killed. I'm not pulling this out of my ass. I'm a witness to a lot of it. They were all killed. So I'm here today sharing they were all killed,
right,
and they won't stop. They want to keep killing. They want to keep controlling. They want to take over. I can't stop sharing.
yeah,
It's that huge.
yeah,
It really is.
yeah. And like I said, I always laughingly call us the free range humans because we walk around thinking we're free, right? We were taught that we lived in the greatest country in the world. And, you know, of course, we all believe that where we live is the best, right? But when you see the things our country has done to other, you know, groups of people and the lies they've told and the stuff they're doing to us now, what they're allowing in our food and water supply and air. You know what I mean? They have no compassion for the people whatsoever. We are just batteries for their machine, you know? Food for,
Oh, it's,
yeah.
I was on Facebook earlier, and there was a post about a guy had a GoFundMe because he's disabled and he's not getting help from the disability office. And there was dozens and dozens. I think there was 80 comments on this guy's post. Good luck. I've been waiting too. Good luck. Well, they killed me in the hospital, literally killed me. They had to revive me in the hospital. They covered it all up. This was in 2013. They poked holes in my lungs. I believe they damaged my heart. When I left the hospital a week later, I was literally crawling on the ground outside my trailer, trying to get from the car to my trailer, crawling in the dirt. I couldn't work. That was over 10 years had gone by, and I could not get help from anyone. Me being who I am, I should have had help immediately, but I didn't. Year after year after year, they make stories up. They lie. They said I was a drug addict. I don't use drugs. They said I was a drug addict. My heart doctor had to say there's no signs of drug use, but they do everything not to help. This is our federal government doing everything they can not to help people. My advice with that is write your congressman, ask the congressman for help, go to the government for help. But yeah, our system, it's evil.
Yeah,
They put systems in place like that, saying they want to help, but it's all a scam. It really is. We need to fix
yeah,
it bad. We need to fix everything our government has put in place, whether it's the FBI, our Secret Service, our CIA, our the disability, Social Security, our Veterans Administration. Every single thing our government puts their hands on isn't to help us. It's not.
right.
It's to take our money and distribute it and do what they want. That's
Exactly.
my 2 cents for the day.
That's exactly right. They want us to do the work, and they want us for the money, and they want to control us, and then they want us out of their way, pretty much. You know. So yeah,
People
very
know how bad they
strange.
got it. Most Americans know how bad they got it, but they don't know what to do
Yeah,
about it. They
yeah,
just take it. They just live with it. They say, you can't fight the government. The Quigley family working for the government as secret agents knew, you know, Max Quigley told me all the time, you can't fight government. You can't. He was convinced he had to deal with all the murders and
Yeah,
the cover-ups. He had to deal with it, saying you can't fight the government. Well, I'm fighting it. I'm putting my life on the line. We can fight it, and it only takes a share. All we have to do is expose the evil ones, and I'm an eyewitness to the evil ones. Let's
right,
share it, share it, share it, please. Let's get the story out.
right, right. I know a lot of times people, they don't know what to do. They feel helpless, they feel hopeless and confused. But like I always think that the first step for any change is information. Like you have to learn what's happening and why, what the game is. Like we don't really know the bigger picture. Now, through our conversations, I've learned why organized crime is doing what they're doing. Why are they creating all these doubles? Like what's the agenda? Like why go to the effort? Well, they're taking people's businesses, their property, their wealth, their fortunes. They put somebody in place that they can control. They suck the money out. They use those resources any way they want. And of course, we, the citizen, don't know any better, you know?
Well, I always think when that's mentioned, I always think of Hitler, World War II, the Jews. They were supporting their war funding by killing people, and it's the same here. I used to, when I was younger, I was used to count. I think in my book it said I counted up to 80 murders, and then I started counting again, and I got all mentally frustrated in my head. But it all goes back to it's easier to kill someone and steal everything they own, replace them, use identity theft than it is robbing a bank. It's easier for them to steal somebody's identity and steal their billions of dollars, and that's what they're doing. That's organized crime, big money maker. They simply target an individual. They plan taking that individual's life. They plan taking everything. So, after a while, when I was pondering things like that, I would just say, why? And it always goes back to the mighty dollar.
Yeah, yeah.
Unless, if it's not the mighty dollar, then it's the power. It's the power to be able to take that mighty dollar. It's the power of, when a citizen needs help and goes to the FBI or they have a big problem, it's the power of running the FBI, telling that person, just go away. You're mentally ill. Go to the mental hospital. Because that's a big plan. That's one of the huge things for organized crime. They
Right.
put the cops in the, whether they're federal agents or cops, they take over a town and they use these people. So when somebody has, a big problem, a huge problem, and they go for help, they're not really going for help. They're going to their grave, going for help.
Right.
I don't believe in going to the police for anything. I really don't. I've given up on the police for going for help. I've given up on going to the FBI for help. I went to them many, many times for help. And I'm John Fitzgerald Kennedy. My father was a president, and I'm learning they're all in on it. The FBI, the Secret Service. And this goes back. I was making a video on this about Trump, and it was taken down on YouTube. So I'll try to be nice. I won't cuss or anything. But the the Trump photo, you know, I learned it. I learned it. I lived it. My salute when I was 3 years old at my father's funeral was a photo op, people. It was a photo op. Me be playing under the desk in the White House was a photo op. It was all staged. It was all planned. It was all photo ops. This right here of me, I was taught, I was trained for hours to do this. They gave me a signal and on my back just so I knew when the casket went by to do this. It's a photo op, people. So when you see Donald Trump standing up like this, never in a million years would our Secret Service allow that to happen. The minute that first bullet whizzed by his head, they would have had him on the ground. You never would have seen him again because they had no idea. I mean, all these Secret Service agents holding Donald Trump up would have been targets for another shooter. In a million years, it never would have happened unless it was a photo op. In a million years, the shooter never would have used an AR-15, an assault rifle. They are chiseling away at assault rifles, whether it's school shootings, they all use assault rifles. A sniper to take out Donald Trump would have simply used a sniper rifle. It's more accurate than an AR-15. A sniper does not need 30 rounds to assassinate the president. They only need one. I'm a witness to this. I've seen my father's execution 100 times over. And I've had weapons my whole life. My whole life I have been in fear of, my life being taken. So there's been times I've had 3 weapons on me at one time, whether it's in my pants, on my leg, under my arm. I have had to live with weapons.
Right.
I know weapons. But my point is, it was a photo op for Donald Trump. Donald Trump has it right, people. Our media is controlled. It is corrupt. But why do they have him on the news, every single news channel, for the biggest photo op the world has ever seen? Wake up, people.
Yeah. Well, I actually got a very long email the other day from someone saying, was that a real event or was it fake? And I'm like, are you kidding me? It's fake. Like, can't you tell? Especially with all the stuff that's come out afterwards. Like, it's staged. All right. So
What in my opinion, what that was, people watch movies all the time. When I watch a movie, I get into that movie. I get into every detail. I'm there. I'm live on the set. Whether it's
yeah,
a John Wayne movie or a Charles Bronson movie, Clint Eastwood movie, I get into that movie. I put myself right there with Clint Eastwood. But what you saw with Donald Trump is a scene from a movie. It was planned. The shooter was probably planned MK Ultra, but it was a scene from a movie. The only, you still had the movie cameras there, but it was a scene right out of a movie. It was
right,
planned.
right.
It could have been, a television show, but Hollywood is so big. And with that said, my Hollywood career was stolen. I was on movies with Doris Day. I was on Green Acres, One Adam 12, Mayberry, RFD, My Three Sons, many shows. I was a little child actor. They were building me up to be a Hollywood star. My name, they gave me in Hollywood, Richard Steele. They stole that career. So if you want to look up John Kennedy Jr. as a child, and then you want to look up Richard Steele as a child, put them on your computer side by side. Put up little John Kennedy Jr. Put up my career as Richard Steele in Hollywood, and then bring my picture up to this very day. This ugly mug. I even got the John Kennedy haircut. And then put up the man everybody believed, the man that was placed by organized crime, the man that was placed by our very own government to steal billions of dollars and launder my family's possessions side by side. And if you can't see I am that child, you are just plain blind. And if you don't wake up, you got it really bad. They are controlling you.
Right.
It's so obvious to so many that wake up. And I get so many comments, once you see it, you can't stop seeing it, people.
Yeah.
Can't.
Yeah. Yeah. Once seen, it can't be unseen. And then you know what the truth is. And even if someone is a little skeptical, like go read the book and or listen to the earlier videos and get more of the facts. And then just keep your eyes open. And another thing, why are they trying to censor us so badly? Like if we're making the story up, wouldn't you just say, oh, those guys are crazy and move along with your day?
Just like you would do everywhere else, but they can't. They
Yeah.
can't.
There's a lot of stuff out there that I'll look at and I'll like, that's not true. I don't sit there and dwell on it. I just go about my business on to the next thing, right? These guys are targeting us, focused, trying to take the videos down, interfere, block, providing
You brought,
troll.
you
Yeah.
brought this up our last video. I just wanted to share that real quick.
That is the best picture ever.
Well, that was my father before his assassination, and I was about the same age as my father. I'm
Yeah.
actually 63 years old now. So I've actually lived a life 20 years, something like that. I'd have to figure out the days, but
Yeah. Yeah.
um, actually lived about 20 years longer than my father. My father was taken from me way too young by these people. Um, so yeah, I've lived a lot longer life, but this is about our same ages side by side together. And yeah, I just
Yeah.
wanted to share that.
That should be your little logo for all of your channels, because that picture is so like beautifully done. It really, I mean, you can't dispute it once you see that picture, right?
And that was actually done by one of the lions. I call the followers lions.
Right.
We're working as a team of lions, but I actually had 45,000 subscribers, followers on TikTok. They removed my account, no appeal. They wouldn't let me download my videos, anything. They stole money from me on TikTok. I paid for advertising. They didn't advertise. They removed my account.
Right.
But I lost a lot of friends, a lot of brothers and sisters. I hope they find me again on YouTube. I started a new TikTok channel. I think I have 1,000 subscribers on TikTok now. But a lot of good people that sent me things like that that I have no contact with anymore. So hopefully, you know, I fell in love with these people. I
Yeah.
really did.
Yeah.
My new family. And
Yeah.
then just to be taken off a platform like that where I was making videos every day, it's really sad,
Yeah.
especially taken down off a platform like that for sharing the truth. Not intended to harm anyone, hurt anyone, but simply fixing the rights from the wrongs, changing the history books to what they should be. And we're being removed, we're being hindered.
Yeah.
It's simple. They don't want you to know what's in my book. And we have to work together. We really, really do, with shares and prayers, and get it out.
Yeah. Agreed. Agreed. So for those that are watching, if you can, even if you have the extra money to buy the book and give to someone out, or, donate it to the library or to a bookstore or whatever, like anything you can do, even comments online, like reviews of the book, that is very helpful. It just lets
And
other people know about the story.
with that said, I think you were one that mentioned you asked the library to get the book. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if it was you or
Yeah.
not.
It was me.
But you people, if you can't afford the book, I have no. If it was up to me, I would give one to every American. I can't. I wish I could. But if you can't afford the book, please go to your library. Be a patriot. Be an American citizen.
Yeah.
Get this book in the library, please. Do your part to help save this country.
Yeah.
It's so appreciated. It's more appreciated than people know, with
Yeah.
simply stopping by their library saying, hey, get this book, Stolen Identity. And with that said, go on Google, go on Bing, go on your search engines. Type that in your search engine. Even if you can't afford the book, just type it in. If you have got the book, I'm all about free advertising. I can't afford to advertise nothing. I've tried advertising $20, $40 on Facebook or $50 on
Yeah.
TikTok to get the story out, but I can't afford it. And the reviews are so important. Go to Amazon, read the reviews. If you've got the book, please take the minute and
Right.
leave your review. Use your heart and truthful, even if it's 1 star and you don't believe me at all. But if it's 5 star, much love, much respect, put it in there and let's
Yeah.
get this world.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just look, my book goes up and down in the charts. Um, 1 minute it's at 100 on the charts, next minute it's at number 7 or number 6. And when it gets down to number 6, I'm like, yes, it really has a chance of being a number one book, which it should be, not just because I wrote it, but because it should be. And then it goes back up. And it's all because I'll make a video with Yusu or a video with Dr. Kia
Right.
or I'm on a little talk show, and then people will get the book, but then the reviews go back up.
Right.
It, it's so important. It really is. Um, I would appreciate it so much if people got it and left a review anyway.
Right. Right. Yeah, and little things help. Like even letting one person know about the story helps. Okay, and that person will it's going to ripple out. And it is going to ripple out. It would just be nice if it happened sooner than later, you know. So having your help would be really good, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was at the grocery store, and everywhere in Bullhead I go, people call me John. They know my story because I share it everywhere. Well, I was at the grocery store, and I've learned, all these people call me John Kennedy, and they've heard me saying, at checkout, "Hey, John, I'm John Kennedy." They've seen my shirts with my book on it. I actually, one of the ladies in there that always talking to me about John Kennedy, I gave her a book the other day, and she was like, "You should give him a book, and you should give." I was in checkout yesterday, and she had a friend came up. She said, "I'm a big supporter," and she was like, "You should give her a book." And I had to pull her off to the side, and I was like, "Gina, these books cost me $20 each. If I gave all three people books, that's $60. I can't afford to do that." I said, "I gave you this one hoping you would share my story." And then I got out to the car and I looked on the seat and there was four books there. And I was like, I grabbed the books, I walked back in and I handed them out to the people that were asking for my book. And I was like, just do me a favor and share it. Because I don't make that much money to give these books away.
right.
But I had to. It was like sharing this story is my everything.
Right.
And I hope people understand how big of a deal it is.
Yeah. Well, that's how you spend your time as you do videos and you talk about the story over and over and over and over. It's like I said, your job is to get the story out there, and our job, the viewer, is to help you, right? So we're here
I'm
to
sure
support
hoping
you.
so.
Yeah.
And I do appreciate you, Sue, so very much. You're putting your channel on the line, sharing my story. They could take you down at any minute, like they've taken down many platforms, and you keep going, and it means a lot. A true
Yeah.
lion, true lion.
I have a like my purpose, you know, obviously I would love money, but it's not to become rich or famous. That's not my purpose. My purpose is I want the stories out. This is important stuff. Even the stuff about, say, fairies or angels that I talk about, it's important that we believe in that. We've been taught everything incorrectly all of our lives. And
Yeah,
in just, yeah, just 100 years, they've been able to change our history, you know?
money's nice. Money helps. We can't do much without money. We really,
Yeah,
really can't.
yeah.
But I've been in the hospital so many times. 2 years ago, I was lying, and I just thought about this morning. I think too much in the mornings, but I was out. I was actually out playing around, working on my truck, and I was like, I got a really nice truck, thanks to Robin, and But I was like, this is a really nice truck, and I was thinking, but if I was in the hospital, dying like I was 2 years ago, it wouldn't mean a thing
Yeah,
because you sure the hell can't take it with
yeah,
you.
yeah. It's really, when you look back, it's really your family and the relationships that you've had with other people. When you're on your deathbed or whatever, that's what you're going to think about. And you're going to wish you had more of that. They've taken that from you. You don't, obviously you have family and friends or friends, but they've taken your family from you.
Yeah, I was actually 2 years ago when I was dying, and the doctors don't help. They don't help. I was literally in the hospital dying of heart failure, and they were telling me I was going to die. That was these doctors telling me. They were like, "Your heart's at 10%. You're going to probably die on the operating table." They're like, "But I think you can qualify for a heart transplant, and we can fly you to Las Vegas." And I was like, I'll be in Las Vegas, no money, no food, no anything. What am I going to do waiting for a heart transplant?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, and I don't even know where I was going after all that, thinking about dying, but um, crazy.
Yeah.
But God kept me alive again.
Yeah. Well, you know, that last time you were telling us how you were in the hospital, you were kind of like in a back room, tucked away from everybody. And
Oh,
after, yeah,
that's torture. What they
I'm,
did to me was torture. You had different floors in this hospital, and after they botched my operation, I had staples all over. They had poked holes in my lungs. But I was on that floor all by myself, put in the corner, screaming for pain medicine for 2 days. And the nurse would come in and say, "Well, we haven't got it authorized from the doctor." The freaking doctor put me on that floor, not intensive care, for 2 days while he was out fucking golfing or something.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm sorry about my language again.
No, no.
But
Well,
I was there and I was in so much pain. The doctor showed up 2 days later while I was in there. And when you're screaming for 2 days in that much pain, you go into shock. And the doctor showed up 2 days later while I was on that floor and said, "Oh, well, we finally got approval to put you in intensive care." And, we were talking about how I don't like hating people and all this other stuff. But I tell you what, I'm not even going to go there.
well,
I I don't think highly of that doctor when I sit there remembering those 2 days screaming in pain to help me, and nobody helped me for 2 days. I've had other experiences, but when I think of that, it's really hard. No one should have to go through what.
well, it's clear that they were doing more than they were contracted to do, right? They were playing around on you. They were probably trying to kill you, is my guess, and it didn't work, right?
I think when I was on the operating table, they were trying to kill me, and somebody stepped in,
Yeah,
like Wayne or somebody,
somebody said,
because even the Quigleys, they didn't come and see me because they thought I was going to be dead.
yeah.
I had a girlfriend at the time, and she said, I was like, "Where were you when I was in the hospital for 10 days?" And she said, "Well, I talked to Dorothy Quigley," and she said, I don't even know what she said, but I was in the hospital for 10 days and nobody came and saw me.
Well, didn't you say that she had told her that you were already dead? Like
I
crazy,
really don't
crazy
know,
stuff.
but it's
Yeah, yeah. Well,
it was messed up. It was
you're
messed
here,
up.
you're here now, and I'm very grateful. And like I said, you've had a good attitude. I mean, despite the frustration and all the stuff you're going through, you're experiencing a lot of obstacles and blockages. You keep persevering because it's only going to get the story out. It's going to be good.
That's what my life's all about. It really, really
Yep.
is.
Yep. I feel like we're at a good breaking point for today. Do you have anything else you want to say?
I love you all. Thank you, Sue, with all my heart. Love you. Check out my YouTube. Check out the other channels sharing my story.
Yeah.
Um, Dr. Kia, like I said, just got removed. Please build her back up to the thousands of followers. Share this channel, Awaken Stories with the beautiful Sue Greenwald. Share it like crazy.
Yeah, yeah. We want to get this story out for you and others that will follow you. So thank you for all you do. I appreciate it. And, we're here to support you, and we'll see you next week, I guess. We'll leave it that way.
Thank you, Sue, so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.